The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
Hi, my name's Ron. Welcome to Alpha Sessions, and it's a welcome return today to Sarah Gargano. It's 2 years ago, just a little over 2 years ago, you were in the studio with us here before. And at the time, I think you'd been studying in Ohio, and you had a year sort of exchange student, I guess that's what you call it, studying in London. And you managed to do some gigs and things, and you popped in to see us. First off, how did the studying go?
It was fun, actually. I enjoyed it. I was at Queen Mary.
Right. And did you pass, or is that your studies over now?
I'm taking classes here now, actually, in music. But back then, I passed. I'm good. I graduated.
And what did you graduate in?
In the States, I double majored in sociology and creative writing.
Right.
I know people just study one thing here.
And now you're back. Did you come specifically to study music here again, or is that just a knock-on?
Yeah, and just be here in the music scene, and I love London.
Yeah, I got that impression last time you were here, but obviously you had to go back, and I think you probably got home just about time COVID hit.
Yeah.
And did you spend that time in Ohio? Did you have to go back to Ohio, or did you go back home?
So I was in Ohio for, I think, a month before the university sent us all home.
Right.
And then, I was in New York since March 2020, and then I just got back to London about a month ago.
And how was COVID for you? I mean, what sort of experience did it? A lot of people say it's altered their views on life. It's made them think more. Did you hate it? Did you love the fact that you could just get on with your work and not be bothered by having to go out?
I did kind of love it because I feel FOMO very easily, but there was no FOMO to be had. And I just... I never left or socialized, and it was fun. And I also got to live with my parents and brother for a while, which was probably especially fun for my parents to have a full house again. But that was fun because I didn't think I'd just get to live with my whole family again after graduating.
And what was it like in the States? I mean, were you literally locked down? And could you go out at all, even for sort of exercise, walking?
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. There was a curfew. Wow, this is so weird. This feels like a fever dream now, because obviously COVID still exists. But those were crazy days. There was a curfew, and they were pretty strict about it. I think I went on a daily sort of walk. I was really lucky because I grew up pretty close to Central Park in New York, so I was able to just go there. And it was cool because New York was pretty empty, and I just had the park to myself half the time, and that was cool.
It was much the same here. I mean, I don't live in the city anymore, but you'd see pictures of all the cities, including London, with just a single person walking across Piccadilly Square and things like that, and I guess New York was the same.
Yeah, I decided to take a walk to Times Square one day, and it was empty. It was such a weird sight.
It is a weird feeling, isn't it, when being in a city like that.
Yeah.
We just passed through London. We were brought home from holiday. We'd been away, and they flew us back early, and we had to get back home. And we just walked through parts of London.
Yeah.
And strange, weird,
very eerie,
a bit apocalyptic. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did that time then give you time to think? Compose, write.
Yeah.
Was that a productive time for you?
definitely went in waves for me. I think in the beginning I was doing a lot of writing, and I was doing a lot of Zoom co-writes, which was cool. I would have never thought to co-write virtually before that, and now that's something that I still do. And I was writing a lot, and I was in this like online songwriting club where I met cool people, and it was people from all over America, but there were like a couple people who lived in New York, so once things started opening up, I met them in person too. So I was writing a lot in the beginning, and then I ended up going on a 2-month road trip with my best friend, in which I was not writing very much, but...
Presumably that was as COVID was sort of things beginning to open up, if you...
No, it was like, not really. It was like that fall. So it was September and October of 2020, and we were kind of just driving around national parks,
right.
And we didn't really interact with anyone. It was just us and nature, and yeah.
You were very lucky to be able to do that, because over
Yes.
here we weren't allowed to go sort of, you know, if your nearest open space was a little drive away, fine. But if you were found driving to the other end of the country, then, you know, you could have been in trouble. So we were very much restricted in that period.
Yeah.
So you were lucky to be able to do that.
I was. I feel very lucky.
And presumably to see those places half empty, not teeming with crowds.
I also they were actually a little bit crowded, surprisingly.
Everyone else had the same idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so as we came out of lockdown, and I presume, I mean, how was it in New York when you left?
It's popping off over there. I was sad to leave, but I wanted to come back to London. But yeah, it's very lively there now. Once the vaccines started happening in, I guess, just about a year ago. I think I got my second dose on March 29th, 2021. So over a year ago, things started really opening up and kind of felt like a Roaring 20s vibe. And it's literally the 20s. Yeah, it was so fun. I had the best time.
So what was the pull to come back to London then?
Just London. I felt like I would regret it if I didn't come back. And yeah, I don't know. I still had friends here, and I wanted to come back to Alpha Sessions.
Exactly. You
So
should have said that was your main
That
pull.
was my only reason for this very moment.
Well, we appreciate that.
I'm about to move to London, leave the city I grew up in, where I cut off all my hair. Apologies if I don't call much. Maybe I'm just having brunch somewhere, pretending I'm not scared. But I'm scared. This time maybe I won't have to run away. I'll make friends, won't let them ever slip away. A new home when I'm alone, I'll still feel okay. In London, in London. Finally, I'm starting over, won't have to filter everything I say. My words like clay, play out at pubs every night, brush my teeth twice every day, pretend I'm not afraid, but I'm afraid. This time maybe I won't have to run away. I'll make friends, won't let them ever slip away. A new home when I'm alone, I'll still feel okay. In London, in London. Maybe I'll come back to visit, even for a minute, and you'll recognize a tiny piece of me. This time, maybe I won't have to run away. I'll make friends, won't let them ever slip away. A new home when I'm alone, I'll still feel okay. In London, in London, in London.
The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
You wrote the song London from actually before you came to London.
Yeah.
It was like an anticipation
Yeah.
of coming to London, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And having been now, gone home, come back again,
Yeah.
do the sentiments in that song still resonate with you in the same way? Or, you must have a slightly different view because now you've been and
Yeah.
you've seen, but
Yeah.
do you still connect with that song?
Yeah, definitely not as much as I used to. And I think a lot of it was about wanting to run away from my life when I didn't like what my life was like. And I think I had a major love-hate relationship with New York, just having lived there my whole life. But the past year in New York, I grew to love it in a way that I never did before. So it was actually really hard to leave and want to run away. Personal growth. I don't want to just run away all the time. But I did miss London in a real way, not just in I want to run away and escape my life way. So yeah, I definitely don't relate in the same way. But
And you mentioned about doing Zoom writing. Was that first time you collaborated with people on writing?
No, but I'd only ever done it in person, which I didn't think of it as limiting, because especially being from New York and having spent a lot of time in London, and I'd also spent a little bit of time in LA, I was always able to find other songwriters to write with, but doing it on Zoom really opens it up to anyone.
Well, we've all learnt to do a lot of stuff on Zoom.
But now I'm tired of it, so I don't know.
You don't like, because that's funny. A lot of people saying this is great, I'm going to do this forever. But your opinion is, well, I've had enough of that, thanks.
It is annoying, but I'm grateful to know that I can do these Zoom co-writes, and I do still do them sometimes, but it's a lot harder to motivate yourself to just sit behind a screen when you could not do that.
And was it during this period that you started doing live sessions on the web?
Oh yeah. Wow, I haven't done one of those in so long, but I was doing a lot of those live streams on like Facebook and YouTube through different, music organizations. And that was really cool. And everyone had nothing else to do, so my friends would go on and watch and comment. Yeah, I did a bunch of those.
But again, is that something you're not particularly keen to do now that there are alternatives?
I also don't really hear about it in the same way now, I feel like. I'm sure it's still going on.
There is a lot of it going on, yeah. But not particularly for you. You prefer the live.
I do.
Did you manage to get to do any live stuff in the States before you left?
I think I did maybe 4 shows in the fall. yeah, they were super fun. And I got one of my best friends from New York. He always accompanies me and plays keys and drums. He can just play any instrument. So that was really fun. And yeah, I missed performing a lot.
You haven't released any new music since 2020.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, I have one song that I recorded. Actually, I think it was in 2020 that I recorded it, and I've just been sitting on it for forever. But the person who produced it actually produced one of my favorite albums of all time. So that's cool. That was all virtual. He lives in Texas in the States. And then my song that I played earlier, Red Solo Cup, I really want to have recorded soon. So I'm trying to find a time to do that in London, and we'll see. I gotta release some stuff soon.
Tell us about Red Silver Cup.
Yeah, it's a very angsty song. I wrote it while I was in London in 2019.
Right.
So it's fairly old now.
You were feeling angst in London?
I always am. Maybe less so here than in general. But yeah.
So what's the basis of the story with that?
I think I was kind of just running through what a day in my life looks like when I'm not mentally doing well. And yeah, that's the song. And I think I had this image in my head of like a person setting a table for two people and eating alone, and then the whole song kind of unraveled from that little image. Thoughts are blue. All I see is you. I make some pasta, set a table for two, pretend one plate's for you. Even though we're through, sit patiently, waiting for a fantasy that's empty to fill me up, a red solo cup. The record's spinning, it's a bright-eyed song. I lay in bed and pray that I'll get through the day. I don't like any of the art I make, wish sit patiently, waiting for a fantasy that's empty to fill me up. A red solo cup. A red solo cup.
The Alpha Sessions with Ron Laver.
That's not the one you've recorded.
It's not. I didn't play the song I've recorded. The song I recorded is called Eating Peaches Daily.
And
It's
you're
on ukulele.
and you're keeping that one secret.
I guess I am, not intentionally. But I don't play it out that often. Don't know why.
Is it a health kick one?
No, I'm not healthy enough. But I do like peaches. It's very COVID-based song, actually. And I also created a little lyric video for it that's just a compilation of videos with some of my best friends and the lyrics over. So stay tuned. It'll be released at some point.
So you say you've got one done. I mean, have you got a date for release? You got a thinking about release?
I don't.
I've
been thinking about it, but I think I'm waiting to record a couple of more songs. But I don't know. I might just surprise release it at some point. I've been sitting on it for so long, so I gotta push it out soon.
So is recording and putting recordings out on a sort of formal basis, if you like, which I guess takes a lot of time, effort, organisation in the background.
Yeah. That's the thing. I also, every time I release something, I email so many music magazines and stuff. And I actually was lucky with my song London because someone who had interviewed me in the past reached out to me because she had extra time because of COVID. So I didn't even have to send the emails. But it's just so time consuming to have to try to find the right places to do exclusive releases and a lot of emails.
Your online presence in terms of your socials. You make jewellery.
I do.
You've done some very nice, what do you call them, like miniature book covers.
Yeah,
for
I should have worn a pair to promote
You missed
them.
a chance to advertise there. Yeah, but you do that. Bags, jewellery.
Yeah. All COVID crafts.
Yeah,
that's how all of that started.
Do you think all those sort of things going on? I mean, does that? It's all part of your craft and all part of your creative side.
Yeah.
So does that mean sometimes the music, in terms of putting out a product, gets a little bit left behind?
Perhaps. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess especially the more crafty making bags and earrings is something that happened during COVID, so it's a more recent thing, so perhaps that's part of why I haven't released anything. I did start getting pretty busy with earring orders, so it's time consuming.
Are you going to have to go into production?
Maybe. Perhaps, yeah. We'll see.
Let's talk about a song, Second Chance, which is an older song. It's not a recent one, is it?
No.
What's that about? What's the second chance you're talking about?
I actually wrote that song when I was, I think, 16. So it's pretty old now. But I think when I was a teenager, I was very antisocial and I was super depressed, and most of that was because I was very bullied at the time, and anyway, I stopped putting myself out there as much because of all of that. And I think the song is kind of just about having a second chance at life. And maybe it's kind of like it like precedes the song London, because that's also kind of about having a second chance in a new place. But it's a more general thing and super dark way to think as a 16-year-old, I feel like.
So that was from school. You were being bullied.
Yeah, when I was like 13, and then it really affected me, so I stopped wanting to be social, basically. And I started writing music, so that's cool.
Well, that's the. I mean, it's all part of the sort of getting away from that, and
right.
And in a way, you know, it's pushed you in a direction that is being very successful for you. Your Instagram and your social media followings is terrific. You know, when you look at the numbers.
Thanks.
It's really strange because you've come from a bullying background.
Yeah.
You've gone down this road.
I know. I don't know why I'm putting myself out there.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You withdraw when you're bullied.
Yeah.
And then now you're going, hey, look at me, world.
Yeah. It's a great point. Yeah. I don't know. Back then, I'm still so obsessed with Taylor Swift, but I think like her song Mean, and just seeing her perform all these songs, that it just seemed like it made everything she went through that sucked a lot better. And I wanted that with music. And I don't know, I guess social media is important if you want to be a musician these days.
Well, you're such a fan of Taylor Swift. That just reminded me, you saying that you held a Taylor Swift birthday party, didn't you?
I did.
On Taylor's birthday last year, I think.
Yeah, in this past December.
Yeah.
It was epic.
Which again is, I sort of looked at it and thought, that's a little bit of performance art, isn't it, in a way?
I started getting into throwing weird themed parties, I think because of COVID. I don't know. Because I even used to throw these Zoom parties, and then I transitioned and made them in-person parties. But the Taylor Swift one was fun.
Did she turn up?
No.
Did you send her an invite?
I should have.
I
didn't.
That could be the key.
Yeah, maybe she would have. Yeah. I didn't think of it.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe she didn't have other birthday plans.
Listen, all this talk of social media, let's tell everybody that haven't already found you, how they can find you on your social media outlets.
My Instagram is Sarah Gargano 29. Sarah with an H. Gargano is spelled Gargano. I also have a website that's sarahgarganomusic.com, and my Facebook page is just Sarah Gargano Music.
It's been really nice talking to you, Sarah, and it's been a real pleasure having you in the studio again today.
Thank you. Time flies, friends move on, people die. I wanna cry for all the change in my bones. Lips part, time heals wounds, new chapters start. I feel my heart beating through my bones. I miss how I jumped into things without a second glance. I want those pieces back I want a second chance. I want a second chance. Minds grow, people come, people go. I wanna know how to take it all in. Bad news comes, feelings change, my body thrums. I feel alive and numb from taking it all in. I miss how I jumped into things without a second glance. I want those pieces back. I want a second chance. I want a second chance. I bumped into an old friend today, the one that got away. I miss her all the time, but I'm glad she didn't stay. I like how I changed, proud of who I am today. Proud of who I am today. I miss how I jumped into things without a second glance. I want those pieces back. I want a second chance. I want a second chance. I want a second chance. I want a second chance.